Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Nick Foles and the Jacksonville Jaguars as they do battle with the reigning MVP of the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're off to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the news in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best? That team will win the game.
Butker now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end. No run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Nick Foles, the man that the Jags are hoping can get them over the hump in 2019. Super Bowl MVP a couple of seasons ago. Made 7 starts if you include the playoffs for the Eagles last year, winning 5 of them. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And here comes Leonard Fournette, the big, and I mean big, tailback out of LSU. When he takes the ball inside, people make decisions about whether they want to tackle him or not, and he has enough speed to get to the perimeter and outrun defensive backs. When he puts it all together, he makes the Jaguars' offense very difficult.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Foles. And his pass incomplete. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
When your defense ranks 31st against the pass, you have to make moves in order to make it better. And the Chiefs did exactly that in bringing in safety Tyrann Mathieu, who has great instincts and the ability to play both safety and nickel corner. I love the way that he roams around the secondary and brings a great attitude and edge to the locker room.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Here we go.
Foles. Going up top. He's got a man. Complete. 33 yards that time.
Let's go.
All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What, does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A shotgun give to Fournette. He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for him. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now Foles. He'll check this one off to Fournette. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 20-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Fournette, a first down carry. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And they'll get him down right around the 16. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And able to find Conley. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4 down, Terry?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. James O'Shaughnessy there to make the grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Lambeau now. After the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now under their veteran head coach, Andy Reid. They'll be led out by the MVP of the National Football League in 2018, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, Patrick Mahomes.
And his task in this situation is making sure this team knows that there's a sense of urgency, yet somehow still stays calm. Because your natural impulse, your first possession is not until the second quarter, is you got to attack right away. Throw something big at them right away. Yeah, you got to move the ball, but maybe be a little bit careful in doing so. Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Mahomes used to moving quickly in college, trying to get his guys to the line. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He finds McCoy. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On fourth down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Now the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. When you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go again to McCoy. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now Mahomes. And Robinson with a big catch. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
fired that one in there, able to make a connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. To throw, it's Mahomes. That's complete, right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only a yard on the completion. It's second and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. That time a 6-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Gearing up for their next possession, Nick Foles and the Jags. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Hitchens, second in the AFC in tackles last year, there to bring him down.
2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Throwing on 2nd down, Foles, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
This one complete over the middle to O'Shaughnessy. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll go with a big back Fournette. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
They had to convert there on 4th down, and they ran the football. Major surprise, but they pick it up. Now they've got to really hurry.
The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. They'll look to throw here. Completes it to Lee. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Let's go! Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Check, cross, here we go.
On the run, it's Fournette. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And his kick is indeed good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
One final try from Mahomes. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. And that's how this one ends in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.